They say loneliness makes you do crazy things, but I never believed it until I found myself sending my life savings to a woman halfway around the world who I'd never actually touched. You see, there are two types of men who fall for Filipino romance: scams, the ones who see it coming and don't care, and the ones who think they're too smart to fall at all. I was definitely the second type, until I wasn't. I stared at my phone for 3 hours, hitting refresh on her Facebook page. Blocked, $11,000 gone, and I still kept checking, hoping it was just a mistake. My name is Josh. I'm 52 years old, and I fell in love with a Filipino nurse who made me believe I was her hero. If you're enjoying these real Philippine stories, smash that like button and drop a comment letting me know what country you're watching from. Now let me tell you about the 6 months that destroyed everything I thought I knew about love. I'm B. Standing in a jewelry shop in downtown Sacramento, holding a silver promise ring worth $800. My hands are shaking as I film a video message for Maria. This is for you, my angel. I'll bring it to Cebu next month. The Filipino shopkeeper smiles at me. He knows this story. Another American man sending promises across the ocean. I don't explain the backstory yet. I just show myself buying the ring, packing it carefully, and recording the message. My voice cracks when I say, "I love you," to the camera. At 52, I thought I'd never say those words again. The chapter ends with me at the post office, overnight shipping the ring to Cebu City. The postal worker asks if I want insurance. It's not about the money, I tell him. It's about the promise. 3 months earlier, I was sitting in my empty house in Sacramento at 2 a.m., scrolling through a Filipino dating app. My wife Janet had died 2 years before. Cancer. I'd retired early from my job at the water department. Couldn't focus on anything anymore. Maria's profile photo stopped me cold. Beautiful, yes, but more than that. Her smile looked genuine. She was 29, a registered nurse at a hospital in Cebu City. Her bio said, "Looking for someone who values family and faith. I believe in real love, not games." I sent her a simple message. "You have kind eyes. I'm Josh from California. Would you like to talk?" She replied within hours. "Hello, Josh. Thank you for your sweet words. I would love to know you better." Our first video call lasted 4 hours. She was working the night shift, talking to me during her breaks. She asked about my wife, my grief, my loneliness. No judgment, just genuine care. "You have been through so much pain," she said, her English soft but clear. "I want to help heal your heart." We talked every single day for 2 months. I'd wake up at 5 a.m. to catch her after her night shift. She'd be tired, still in her scrubs, but she always made time for me. "Good morning, my Josh," she'd say, and something in my chest would unknot. I learned about her family, her mother who sold vegetables in the market, her younger brother in college, her dream of someday working. In America, she learned about my loneliness, my empty retirement, how I'd been eating frozen dinners and watching TV for 2 years. "You need someone to take care of you," she said one evening. "You are too good to be alone." The first red flag was small. She mentioned her mother was sick, needed medicine. I offered to help immediately, sent $300 through Western Union. She cried on camera when she got it. "You are like an angel to my family," she said. "I don't deserve such kindness." The second flag was smaller. Sometimes she'd miss our calls. "Emergency at hospital," she'd text, or "family situation." I believed every word because I wanted to, but her smile when she got back on camera, that was real, had to be real. "Josh, I don't know what to do." Maria was crying on our video call, still in her hospital uniform. It was 3 a.m., her time, 11. "Hey, mine. What's wrong, baby?" I'd started calling her that. It felt natural. There was an accident at the hospital. A patient's family is blaming me. They're saying I gave wrong medication. My supervisor says I might be suspended. My heart broke, watching her sob. This woman who took care of others now being attacked for trying to help. I might lose my job, Josh. My family depends on me. My brother's tuition is due next week. Without my salary. How much do you need? The words came out before I could think. "No, I cannot ask you for..." "Maria, how much?" $2,000 would cover my brother's school and help with a lawyer to clear my name. I was already opening my banking app. Consider it done. Josh, I will pay you back. I promise. When this is over, you don't need to pay me back. We're a team now. The relief on her face when I showed her the Western Union confirmation number, that's when I knew I loved her. Really loved her. Not just the loneliness talking anymore. She stayed up an extra hour that night, just talking to me, telling me how grateful she was. You saved my career, you saved my family. I will never forget this kindness. But I noticed something. The next day, her story about the hospital incident seemed different. Smaller details changed. When I asked about the lawyer, she said her cousin was handling it now. I pushed the doubt down. Maria was stressed, traumatized. Details get fuzzy, under pressure. I have incredible news, Maria said during our morning call. She was glowing, more beautiful than I'd ever seen her. Tell me everything. I spoke to an immigration consultant here in Cebu. She says I can apply for a fiancé visa to come to America. We could be together, Josh. Actually together. My heart nearly stopped. Are you serious? Yes, but... Her smile faded slightly. The process is expensive. The consultant fee, document processing, medical exams, flight costs. It's around $4,000 total. $4,000 to have her here, in my house, in my arms. I didn't hesitate. Let's do it. Josh, are you sure? It's so much money. Maria, I've been alone for 2 years. If there's a chance you could be here with me. I sent the money that afternoon. She sent me photos of herself at the immigration office, holding papers, looking official and hopeful. But something felt off during our next few calls. She seemed distracted, less available. When I asked about the visa progress, she was vague. These things take time in the Philippines, she said. Government offices are slow. I started researching fiancé visas myself. The process she described didn't match what I read online. When I mentioned this to her, she got defensive. Josh, you don't understand how things work here. The consultant explained everything. You have to trust me. Trust. The word hung between us like a challenge. I noticed other changes too. She bought a new phone for better video calls with you. She moved to a nicer apartment, closer to the immigration office for convenience. Each explanation made sense individually, but together. Maria, can I speak to your immigration consultant directly? She doesn't speak good English. I translate everything for you. Red flags were piling up, but I was in too deep. The visa money was just the beginning. The call came at 4 a.m. my time. Maria was hysterical. Josh, I need help. Please, I need help. Right now. What happened? Calm down, baby. My mother, she was in an accident. Motorcycle hit her crossing the street. She's in ICU. They won't do the surgery without payment up front. How much? $5,000. But Josh, I would never ask if I'm sending it now. But this time something made me hesitate. Maria, which hospital? Vicente Soto Memorial Medical Center. Can you show me the medical bills? She paused. In 6 months of video calls, I'd never heard her pause like that. The bills are with my cousin. She's handling everything because I'm too emotional. I want to help, but I need to see something official. Josh. Her voice changed, colder. My mother is dying, and you want paperwork? The guilt hit like a punch. Here I was, questioning the woman I loved, while her mother fought for her life. Sent the money, but I also did something I'd never done before. I called the hospital. Good morning, Vicente Soto Memorial. How can I help you? I'm calling about a patient, Mrs. Santos. She was brought in with motorcycle injuries. Can you spell the last name? Santos, first name Carmen. Maria's mother's name. I'm sorry, sir, we have no patient by that name in our ICU. My blood went cold. Are you sure? Yes, sir. No Carmen Santos admitted in the last week. I hung up and stared at my phone. Either the hospital was wrong or I called Maria immediately. It went straight to voicemail. I tried again an hour later. Still voicemail. For the first time in 6 months, Maria didn't answer my call. 3 days. No word from Maria. I barely slept, constantly checking my phone. Facebook said she was active 2 minutes ago, but she wouldn't respond to my messages. I started adding up the numbers. The medicine for her mother, $300. The hospital. Crisis, $2,000. The visa fees, $4,000. The surgery that never happened, $5,000, $11,300 in 6 months. On the 4th day, she finally called. Josh, I'm so sorry. I've been at the hospital with Mama. No phone signal. Maria, I called Vicente Soto. They said your mother wasn't there. Silence. Maybe you called wrong number, she said finally. I called 3 times. Asked for Carmen Santos, specifically. Josh, why you don't trust me after everything we shared? Because you lied to me. I never lie. You are being paranoid. The conversation spiraled. She cried. I yelled. She hung up. I sat in my kitchen, the same kitchen where I'd eaten alone for 2 years before meeting her. It felt smaller now, emptier. My neighbor Tom knocked on my door that evening. We'd become friends since Janet died. You look like hell. Josh, I think I've been scammed. I told him everything. He listened without judgment. How much? He asked finally. Over 11,000. Tom whistled low. That's not just money, Josh. That's your retirement security. That night, I couldn't stop thinking about what Janet would say. She'd been practical, always asking the tough questions I avoided. You fell in love with a ghost, I whispered to her photo. A beautiful ghost who told me everything I needed to hear. Maria called one last time a week later. Josh, I have good news about the visa. Stop. What? Just stop, Maria. I know what this is. You don't understand. I understand perfectly. The hospital lied. The visa consultant doesn't exist. Your mother was never hurt. Josh, please listen. No, you listen. I'm 52 years old. My wife died 2 years ago. I was lonely and sad, and you saw an easy target. She was quiet for a long moment. When she spoke again, her voice was different, flatter. You got what you paid for, Josh. What does that mean? You paid for someone to talk to you every day, to make you feel special, to care about your problems. I did that for 6 months. The honesty was worse than the lies. You made me believe you loved me. I made you feel loved. That's what you needed. She wasn't wrong. For 6 months, I'd felt alive again. I'd had a reason to wake up, someone to share my day with. In her twisted logic, I had gotten what I paid for. Goodbye, Josh. Maria, wait. The line went dead. I tried calling back. The number was disconnected. I checked Facebook, profile deleted, Instagram, gone. The dating app where we met. Account removed. Maria Santos, the nurse from Cebu City who'd promised to heal my heart, had vanished as completely as if she'd never existed. I spent the next month in a strange kind of mourning. Not just for the money, but for the version of myself I'd been with her. The man who felt needed, wanted, important. I kept checking her social media for weeks, even though I knew she was gone. Tom finally made me block the sites on my computer. You're torturing yourself, he said. He was right, but the torture felt familiar, comfortable even. I started therapy for the first time in my life. Dr. Jennifer Martinez, a grief counselor who specialized in late-life transitions. You weren't just scammed, she told me during our 3rd session. You were grieving. Grief makes us vulnerable to anyone who promises to fill the void. I should have known better. Should have, could have. Those words don't help anyone heal. She asked me to write down what I'd actually lost. Not the money, the feelings. The list was short, but devastating. The daily routine of caring about someone, the excitement of planning a future, the feeling that I mattered to another person, the belief that love was still possible for me. Now write down what you learned. That list was harder. Loneliness makes people do desperate things. I'd rather be scammed than be alone. I still have love to give. Even if I gave it to the wrong person, I'm not ready to give up on connection. The money can't come back, Dr. Martinez said, but the capacity to love, that's still yours. I realized something sitting in her office. I wasn't angry at Maria anymore. She'd been surviving the only way she knew how. I was angry at myself for being so desperate, so willing to believe. But maybe desperate wasn't the worst thing to be. Maybe it meant I was still alive. 6 months later, I'm sitting in the same kitchen where I used to take Maria's calls, but it feels different now, lighter. I volunteer at the grief support group at my church. Every Tuesday evening, I help other widowed men and women navigate the loneliness I know so well. Last week, a 62-year-old man named Robert told us about Sending $8,000 to a woman in Ukraine who disappeared. I feel so stupid, he said. You're not stupid, I told him. You're human. You missed being needed. I could see the relief in his eyes. Someone understood. I still think about Maria sometimes, not with anger or regret, but with a strange kind of gratitude. She taught me that I'm not done living, not done hoping, not done believing in connection. I haven't tried online dating again, maybe someday. But I'm not desperate anymore. There's a difference between wanting love and needing it to survive. Tom and I take a monthly trip somewhere. Last month we went to Lake Tahoe. I'm learning photography. Small things, but they add up to a life. I keep Janet's photo on the kitchen counter, but I don't talk to it anymore. She's not here to answer, and I'm okay with that now. The $11,300 is gone forever. But I look at it like this. Some people spend that much on a bad car that breaks down after 2 years. I spent it on 6 months of feeling alive again. Not the worst investment I've ever made. I got a text from an unknown number last month. Hello, Josh. This is Maria. I miss talking to you. I stared at it for maybe 30 seconds. Then I deleted it and blocked the number. Some conversations are meant to stay finished. My name is Josh. I'm 52 years old. I sent $11,000 to a woman in the Philippines who made me believe in love again. She broke my heart and disappeared with my money. And I'm okay now, finally, honestly okay.